perdóname.
Perdón por sentarme en tus pies.
Okay.
It's alright.
Okay.
It's alright.
Hello, this is our delivery for the 2nd of November. Our recorded discussion about the topics of citizenship, freedom of thought, democracy, and human rights. So the first question we're going to be asking is isolation considered torture? I believe that it might be considered torture and it might be considered a type of violence, but it's way more violent, the acts that in this case Anders committed. So that's literally torture for the parents of the kids. So I mean, it is a type of torture, but it's like it comes with the punishment of jail, I think. I don't know what you think.
It's a different type of torture than the ones, like the one we're used to, which is like, I think when we think about torture, we think about physical pain, for example, or something like that. So in this case, it's more psychological, but that doesn't mean that it's just different, but it can still be very damaging for the person.
Yeah,
I think it depends.
I think the fact that being closed and like locked up in this space and with the same things and same constant like environment can be like a type of torture, since you are always inside your thoughts and you cannot like have any contact with anyone else, and you're always thinking of what you are like supposed to do, or at least the only person you can think of is yourself and your thoughts. Like you don't have anyone to change these ideas or transmit information like in any way.
Yeah, but maybe what I was thinking when you said that is that maybe like some people, I don't know if they like, it depends on the person how much it hurts them, for example, because maybe there's like a person that's very social and a lot of the life that the person lives depends on the social aspect, but there can be a person that's like, oh yeah, there's people that live alone and have almost zero contact with other people.
Exactly.
So for them, that maybe wouldn't be like torture. That, for example, if it's physical pain, like the example I used
It's
before,
torture for everyone.
everybody's gonna
Yes,
be.
they have the same kind of torture. And I think specifically in the case of Anders, I mean, I think he was a little bit off. Like he's not, I don't think he's a very social person. So I don't see him like the most affected kind of people
Huh.
for that punishment. And also the type of violence that he committed is not even comparable to that
Exactly.
kind of punishment.
He's getting.
Exactly. It can be considered torture, but who is looking for the torture that he produced? Like his actions as a consequence had so many people in pain and in torture and in physical and psychological damage. So like I don't think he deserves to be like
Punished?
to consider his physical and intellectual well-being after what he did. Like he lost the right of the consideration of his like
Health, like taking care
Of rights,
yourself.
basically, of his human rights. Like if one person takes a lot of human rights, like he doesn't, like a person doesn't respect other people's human rights, then why would people respect his? That's like
that's kind of another question I
That's like
have.
the deal.
Can you ask the question?
Yeah, the other question is like, what's the purpose of jail, and if he should consider if he should keep his rights as they are, and the only right he has
Been taken away.
is the freedom. But is it really like? Is that how it's supposed to be, and is that how we are supposed to punish those types of actions?
I think they should like take his freedom out, but not not his other rights. You know.
I used to think that the idea of wanting someone to be punished, it was like habitual, but then I realized that if they don't get like really punished, some other people that might have some plan to cause harmful to the community might look at the consequence and think like it's not even that bad, so I can do it with no consequence. So that's really that's a problem I'm looking into.
Exactly. I think that jail is not only for punishment, but it is also for first for keeping people safe from those kind of people, and also from to give an example. Like if you do this, this can happen to you. Because if there is no consequence, many people will do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should set an example for other people. So I believe that when you are part of a society, like he was part of the Norwegian country, he accepts to the laws and to the restrictions that this country like limits or offers or agrees to. He has to agree upon those terms, and when he breaks them, like the government and the country is entitled to take away his rights or to take away his freedom or to like make him like suffer the consequences. That's just how it works, and
Yes.
it's really part of the system you're agreeing to when living in a society.
Yeah. Okay, what's the next question?
So the next, and I think the last question, because we extended a little bit on the second, is when does the government draw the line for limiting freedom of thought, expression, or news publishing? Like for example, he did this act to try and make a point, to try and express his ideas. So if the news are covering this act, they're kind of like he's kind of getting the point of what he wanted to happen. He wanted to get people to know him. So
Yeah, but at the
what
same
would be
time-
the ethical decision of the government?
It's complicated because it's not like the newspapers are gonna censor the whole thing. It's important that it's something that people should know about. So I think it's complicated because at the same time he was like psychologically evaluated to see if he could be marked as insane. So that would mean the custody would be different. So, but he like it was marked as an ideology crime. So I don't know. I don't know how to answer
I don't
that.
think it should be uncensored. I think like people in the outside shouldn't be able to see, and I think the only purpose of giving him freedom of speech must be to understand the real purpose of what he did, and like maybe the parents of the victims need closure and they have the right to understand that. But I don't think it's needed that it's televised.
All the time.
The only problem about that, like I would think that, but the problem of that is when do you draw the line? Like if the government is in total control of limiting, then what if other expressions of like climate change or activism or other messages that want to be conveyed are censored because of the same reason? And what the conclusion I would get to is the moment you cause harm or you make such a violent act like the one he did that could inspire other people to do that, then the government is entitled to censor.
Yes, maybe.
If it was a peaceful protest, then it should not be censored whatsoever. But
Yeah, so there should be like
Yeah, but
some
like the
censored
thing
stuff.
here,
Like como like they should analyze the thing and then un filtro.
de saber si es algo bueno o malo.
so
Like,
you
procedure
can like a
or
procedure to see
protocol.
because I think everything just goes online and everything
Yeah,
just
but
goes.
in this case,
for everyone to see, maybe
Anderson's
that's-
perspective, like Anderson's point of view, and then the government and multiculturalists' point of view are just like contrary, but they don't mean they're totally bad. Like having multicultural people in the country is not bad or is not like right as not having them, you know, like who says when it's appropriate to let the people know the message that the person in
Exactly. I think
torture is like the person that is being punished is able to like express his point of
I
view.
think that
you know?
when someone has crossed this line of
Violence.
Violence and getting rid of every single human right a person can have, that is the right of life, and that includes all the rest of rights. Like he
loses
took
his
away
right to
every
freedom. Yeah.
right of 70 people. So that's like something pretty obvious. I think that if someone does that, you don't let them speak. And the real case, he literally gave his speech in front of everyone, and he got what he wanted.
So what are
So
you saying?
that
is-
should be the conclusion.
Okay, yeah, I think that's our conclusion.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Thank you.
listening. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thanks.
Subscribe to our channel.